we think we do, presumptively taking Cam Ward at #1 overall.
Is it safe to say you know who you're picking at 1? And if so, what would it take to maybe change your mind at this point?
Yeah, no, we've come to a consensus. The entire organization is to stay at that pick, and I guess you'll find out Thursday night who we pick.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen. Don't you just love GMs this time of year? Oh, okay, Graz. Peter Schrager reported that it could get interesting at 2 and 3. The Browns and the Giants are fielding calls, which seems totally logical. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, this happens every year. You know, teams set their board, they set their priorities. Oh, here's our top guy. We're going to have to trade up to get him. Call the Browns, call the Giants, see what it would take. Now, the interesting thing is, what are the Browns and Giants saying when they get these calls? If you are in that position and you can get either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, the two consensus premium players in this draft, it's going to take a lot to move you off that spot. You have to get fair value for the pick. You have to be comfortable with passing on Hunter or Carter, and you have to be convinced that you haven't moved down so far that you can't address quarterback or whatever significant need you have to address. So let's say the hypothetical, the Panthers call the Giants and say they want to come up from 8 to 3, presumably for Abdul Carter. The Giants get enough in return, and are they confident that at 8 they can get the guy they want at, say, quarterback? That would be something if you were to overpay the Giants for that pick, and then they could drop back and get whoever Sanders, Dart, whoever their guy is at quarterback. That's the kind of thing. But as of now, we don't have any sense that that's likely to happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's have some fun here, though. If there was a team that you would like to see move up, yeah, I like that one, too.
I would say the 49ers.
Oh, okay.
San Francisco sitting at 11.
Yep.
They obviously had a lot of talent leave their organization. They have 11 total picks in this year's draft. They've got a 1, 2, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s. Mike T, J-Mac, there's two guys that you can kind of close your eyes in this draft and envision then putting on gold jackets one day. And they're going to go 2 and 3 in this draft. Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, right? And so if you're John Lynch and you just watched all that talent leave out of the draft or out of your organization, and you've got all those picks, and they're a blue blood organization, blue chip organization, I could see them trying to get up to 2 or 3.
You know, it's interesting, Dan, because of all the players that they lost, I thought maybe they go volume. You know, the one for me is the Raiders with Ashton Jeanty, and here's why, guys. When I think about the Raiders, I think about stability this offseason. I think about Pete Carroll stabilizing the franchise. I think about Geno Smith stabilizing the quarterback position. And if we're running a team, the four of us are running a team, and we have to go play Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Bo Nix 6 times a year, this is the guy that allows us to control the game and gives it a chance to win. I think for him and Pete Carroll, that combination of him being this version of Marshawn Lynch makes all the sense in the world.
I think that makes sense to pick him, but they have the 6th pick in the draft. So you really could see Jeanty going in the top 5. I think that's a realistic possibility.
You know, Hannah, if you had to give up, let's say, a second-round pick to flip, let's say, 3 and 6 to make sure that he doesn't go to Jacksonville, it's a fair point because it's a steep price to pay. But when it's an ideal fit in a year 1, and this could be a real difference maker, I think it's something you got to consider.
The Pats and the Jaguars sitting there at 4 and 5. The Patriots,
that somebody else could jump up in front of them. I wanted to make this whole argument about the Jets and them moving up, but at the same time, I'm listening to you guys, and you just said 2 guys with gold jackets. If I'm the Giants or if I'm the Cleveland Browns, why the heck am I entertaining any type of trade up? These 2 guys are sitting there in a draft that we continue to say at the quarterback position is a little bit weaker. There's not a lot of blue chip players. I'm taking one of these guys. I don't care if I still have a ton of needs to fill. I'm taking one of these 2 guys that I know will fill a need because they're erasers. They'll fill 3 needs with their play on the field.
Let me ask you the hypothetical that Grass threw out, though. If you're the Giants, Carolina from 8 calls and offers you 2 first-round picks.
2 first-round picks.
You still get to go to 8. You really want a quarterback.
You still got to pass up on Carter
you're still in the top
or
10.
Hunter.
You really want a quarterback, though, if you're the Giants. That's just the truth.
And the 2 first-round picks would be intriguing in the sense of if we don't believe that quarterback is in this draft, that we possibly could maybe get that quarterback in the next draft. Because we could move up if we get first-round draft.
It was interesting. Hebo pointed this out this morning. You know, going back to Dan's point, Will Anderson 2 years ago with Houston, when they traded up from 11 to 3, they still had to give up a first-round pick for a non-quarterback. So that market is still pretty expensive, obviously, depending on how far back you have to go. But if you're the 49ers your bill is still very expensive to get up there.
That was a pretty damn good draft for the Texans,
Yes,
right? You get
Stroud.
C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson
Nick
Jr.,
Cassell.
back-to-back offensive, defensive rookies of the year. All right, we'll talk about the Texans later. We're just getting started. Dr. Hunter, who are some of your favorite receiver prospects?
Hannah, we're going to start with Matthew Golden from University of Texas. He spent 1 year there, averaged 17 yards a catch. The reason he averaged 17 yards a catch, he was the fastest receiver at the combine, 4.29, but more importantly, he played 4.29. You want to know how good he is? Ask Steve Sarkisian on the most consequential moment of their season time, all the talent that Texas has, who they go to. Matthew Golden, to me, after Travis Hunter, he should be the first receiver off the board. Next up, Jayden Higgins, Iowa State, 6th in catches, 7th in yards per catch. Think Mike Evans here. Look at his size and his length, 6'4", and he plays big, just like Mike Evans does. And when we think about third down, red zone, tight area catches, I love Jayden Higgins. I think his game is ideal for the next level. I think he's going to be an outstanding pro, going at the bottom of the first, top of the second. And then last, Jack Bech. Jack Bech spent 2 years at LSU. He transferred to TCU. He is, to me, rugged. Look at this contested catch. He was the Senior Bowl MVP. We all know about the tragic story of, unfortunately, losing his brother. He wins the game, the Senior Bowl, on a play just like this. And to me, he has some Puka Nacua in him. I don't want to put that label just on him. Great route runner, fantastic hands. Not the fastest guy, not the quickest guy, but extremely productive. I love him in the third round. I see him as an eventual starter in the league.
Yeah, wants to honor his brother, said whichever team gets me, it is going to be a 2-for-1 deal. All right, moving on, the Indianapolis Colts have kicked off voluntary workouts, which means the quarterback competition between Daniel Jones and the incumbent Anthony Richardson is about to get underway on Monday. GM Chris Ballard said if he was a betting man, he'd say both of them will help the team. What does Richardson say? This is from today.
What has been your attitude coming in the building this week?
Man, just get better, honestly. Every single day, just work, no matter what's thrown in front of me. Every opportunity I got to just better myself and help the team out in any way, that's what I'm looking forward to do.
Ballard also said they'd consider drafting a quarterback in the first or second round. What do you make of Richardson's attitude going into this?
I mean, he's got no other choice but to say the right things, coming off of the stories last year, the reports, whether they were true or not. But the reality is this, for Anthony Richardson, the Colts made it very clear. They gave Daniel Jones a lot of money. They paid him away from Minnesota, which was very much so wanting to keep Daniel Jones. So not only the money, but also I guarantee the conversations of this is going to be a very open competition and you're going to have every opportunity to win the job. And I would sit there and say, there's a lot of Daniel Jones' skill set that kind of fits what Shane Steichen wants to do. Quarterback run a little bit, RPO, get him out on the perimeter, quick throws. So it'll be very interesting to see how Anthony Richardson kind of attacks the offseason. It'll also be very interesting to see if they get tight end in the first round, that tells me they want Anthony to win the job. If they go offensive line in the